Wow. That is the sound of the Big Brother Endgame, isn't it? A raw, emotional quote pulled straight from the live feeds. And it just perfectly captures the intense pressure cooker these house guests are living in right now. Okay, let's dive into this final, absolutely dramatic week of Big Brother 27.
So, after a long, brutal summer of blindsides, alliances, and, yeah, a whole lot of slop, the entire game has boiled down to just 3 people. And each one has a totally different story, a totally different strategy that got them to this point.
And this is what it's all for. $750,000. I mean, think about it. That prize has fueled every single competition, every late-night whisper, every tough vote. And now, for our final 3, it is tantalizingly close.
So who's left standing? First up, we've got Ashley Hollis, who has just masterfully navigated the social complexities of the house. Then there's Morgan Pope, an absolute beast who has dominated competitions all season long. And finally, Vince Pinaro, who played a fiercely loyal game, especially to his ride-or-die, Morgan. You've got 3 very, very different paths to the end.
But, to even get a chance to plead their case to the jury, they have to survive the most important competition of the season, the final head of household. And this isn't just one comp. Oh no, it's an epic 3-part war that decides who holds all the power on finale night.
So how did it play out? Well, part 1 is always this grueling endurance competition. And just as you'd expect, the competition powerhouse Morgan Pope pulled out the win. Part 2 is that mix of skill and memory, and in a massive, crucial victory, Ashley Hollis beat out Vince, and that sets up a huge showdown on finale night. It's going to be Morgan versus Ashley.
And this is the brutal reality for Vince. By losing both part 1 and part 2, his game is now completely out of his hands. He can't compete anymore. All he can do is sit there and hope that whoever wins that final part decides to take him to the final 2. His fate rests entirely with Morgan and Ashley.
This total loss of control, as you can imagine, sent Vince into a really difficult emotional spiral, which we all saw play out on the live feeds. It's a fascinating and kind of heartbreaking look at the psychological toll this game takes in its final hours.
This was the moment it all just boiled over. In a conversation with Morgan, Vince let all of his frustration pour out, telling her he felt like he just couldn't win anything that truly mattered. It's a really vulnerable moment for sure, but what's so interesting is how it clashes with the actual statistics of his game.
See, here's the twist. Despite how he feels, the hard data tells a totally different story. Vince has won 4 head of household competitions this season. 4. That is more than anyone else in the house, including Morgan. He's been in power more than any other player.
And Morgan, to her credit, was quick to remind him of this reality. She pointed out that he didn't just win one type of competition either. He won with physical strength, with mental challenges, and with strategy. His resume is, by the numbers, incredibly impressive. So why does he feel so defeated?
And this is the story behind the story. While Vince dominated HOH reigns, Morgan has a staggering 5 power veto wins to her name. Vince has 0. And the veto is the power to save yourself or an ally, and Morgan has used it time and time again. It's that constant, in-your-face display of competitive dominance that's fueling Vince's feelings of being second best.
The immediate aftermath of Ashley's win in part 2 paints such a stark picture of the house dynamic. While Ashley was literally doing a happy dance celebrating her guaranteed spot in the live finale showdown, the feeds caught Vince just retreating to bed, completely dejected. The emotional gap between the house guests couldn't be wider.
But of course, the game isn't just about what happens inside the house anymore, right? The power now shifts to 7 former house guests who have been watching every single thing from the jury house. And their perceptions? They're going to decide everything.
So, who are they? We've got Keanu, Ava, Rachel, Will, Kelly, and Lauren. Each one of them has their own relationships, their own grudges, and their own idea of what makes a deserving winner. They've been debating for days, and now they're about to hold a contestant's entire financial future in their hands.
So, let's play jury foreman for a second. How might the votes fall? Well, analysis suggests Morgan could pull in votes from Keanu, Will, and Lauren. They all respect strong, strategic, and competitive gameplay. Ashley seems to have locks with her close friend Ava and also with Kelly, who she had a really strong personal connection with. The big wild card here is Rachel. She reportedly respects Vince's strategic mind, and that could make her a key vote for him.
Okay,
So, with all that in mind, let's map out the final scenarios. It all comes down to that one last competition between Morgan and Ashley, and the winner's decision, well, it's going to change everything.
And here it is. This is the most crucial piece of information heading into finale night. Sources from inside the house, from the live feeds, indicate that both Morgan and Ashley have separately decided that if they win the final HOH, they will evict the other woman and take Vince to face the jury. So no matter what happens, Vince is almost certainly getting a seat in one of those final two chairs.
Okay, let's break down these two potential futures. If Morgan wins and takes Vince, she's counting on the jury rewarding her competition dominance. But Vince could argue he played a more strategic social game, and he might just need Rachel's vote and one more to sway it his way. Now, if Ashley wins and takes Vince, she's banking on her social connections with jurors like Ava and Kelly. In that scenario, Vince would have to convince jurors who admire competition that his strategic loyalty is more deserving than Ashley's kind of under-the-radar game.
And that's really what it all comes down to, isn't it? What does this specific jury value more? The competition powerhouse, the social navigator, or the strategic loyalist? It leaves us with the ultimate question as we head into the finale. What truly defines a winning game in Big Brother? I guess we're about to find out.